Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Sam Leggett here representing TeamJVS. Here, you guys, an exclusive review for Caught Stealing from Darren Aronofsky. So, if you don't know, Darren Aronofsky has had some very notable films over the years. One of the most notable is his 2000s, of course, Requiem for a Dream. Whew, pulverizing, right? Another notable one would be Black Swan. I mean, this in and of itself was Oscar winning performance and execution. I think it's going on his 15th year anniversary already. Then next was the winner, which was The Whale. Albeit some people debate the validity of the film itself. Undeniably, Brendan Fraser's performance was excellently executed. And now up to bat is the amazing Austin Butler. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. As much as all those films, showcase how Darren Aronofsky is able to utilize actors to fulfill a true narrative of emotion, unguarded, untapped, true to form ways that like humanity can just go, and how life actually happens in the darkest sides of life. And dare I say, I've never really experienced a truly entertaining Darren Aronofsky film. This is my first. This film, Caught Stealing, is probably to me his most entertaining, exciting, fun, engaging, crazy, insane, crazy films that I think that Darren Aronofsky's ever made. And I did not know he had it in him. I kid you not. This was a blast for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of break it down. So one of the main aspects of this film is you've got Austin Butler's character. Austin Butler plays the front man, and he has a love interest in Zoe Kravitz. He has a tortured past, of course, that is related to one of his favorite pastimes, which is baseball. And that impacts the way that he moves, how he lives, what he does, what he doesn't do, is all impacted from his past. And yet he's a normal person. He's just a bartender. He loves his life. He loves his significant other. And he really honest was just having a normal day. And unfortunately, life literally knocked on his door, and it did not take his foot off of his neck. And it goes from 0 to 60 very fast. First thing I'm going to compliment is the way they handle the pacing and the tone distribution. Normally, you have a film that goes for a straight narrative. It goes from A to Z to different pinpoints. This movie does not go back and forth in past. There are certain pivots of the past that they do touch on, but it continues to progress forward. And it does not care who lives or dies in the process of that. It's just about telling that narrative. And I love how they do the pacing with this, because I got into, I think, hour and 15 minutes. I was like, man, this feels like I've already got a whole film. But yet the back half of the film does not feel pulverizing either. It still is engaging. It still is entertaining. And tonally, it also makes headway in a very good way. The other thing that I'll compliment this film on is how they fall and move into the dark comedy of this. There are some moments in this film that are very bleak, very dark, and you just don't know where this is going to go. And I don't think there's any bounds or limitations on it, to be quite honest with you. It just goes for it. And every actor is not only committed, but every scene makes you feel like at any given moment, anyone or anything could happen to set character. And that's where they lean into the dark humor. Now, when there are funny moments, naturally funny moments, not trying to be tongue in cheek, not trying to be over like committed to the comedy, it's just natural progressive things that happen in the course of this film. They're just naturally funny. That are just naturally like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Or quips or certain lines of dialogue and how this is actually written. and it just lands every single time. And I was so surprised by that. Even with the image that you're seeing right here, there's a character in this played by, I'm going to get his name wrong, but I totally apologize. Nikita Kukushkin. He is the character you see to the far left next to the window that is holding Austin Butler's hands. He is a deranged psychopath, but yet he is someone that is engaging enough that I am entertained by him. And yes, that is Bad Bunny. And he is menacing and as insane as the movie allows him to be. And I was really caught off guard by that. I did not anticipate that. But again, the other thing that does work is even when you got like crazy characters like that, there's true chemistry with Austin Butler and with Zoe Kravitz. They have it going. The relationships that Austin Butler's character has, like, of course, like with Matt Smith, you see it. You believe the relationship with Russ as a character. And it doesn't feel like, yes, these characters are all out there and are crazy and all over the place, but it fits with the madness. Now, there will be some nitpicks that I'm going to give out. I'm just going to throw them out in a little bit, but I do got to give the flowers to these amazing actors in Liv Schreiber and the amazing Vincent D'Onofrio. They show up, and I thought it was crazy before. It gets even crazier by the time you see them in this film. So the other thing about it is this is very dark. There's a lot of death. In most Darren Aronofsky films, you expect that. You expect bleak, you expect terror, you expect like the worst side of humanity to come out, and you get that in this film. But you also get the entertaining side of life and love and passion and compassion. And I think it's wrapped up in a very interesting bow. And I don't have a picture of him, but there's a little cat in this film that is at the forefront of that concern and love and care. And it's so weird how it plays into this film perfectly. It almost as though Darren Aronofsky is like, okay, this cat is going to be the conduit that's going to allow the natural progression of how this dark humor is going to level out. And it's interesting how they even handle it. And no one's safe. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, there are some nitpicks. There are some things that happen in the film. Very dark things that happen. But there's one thing that happens in the film, and I'm not going to say it because this is a non-spoiler review, but let's just say a character is kind of unbelievably able to kind of maneuver around after something really terrible happens. And it just kind of took me out a little bit because it's unrealistic. And it's not like, this is a movie like Crank, where there's like, drugs involved or something. I mean, there's drugs involved in this film. But in that scenario, it just kind of came off unbelievable. But outside of that, every other thing in the way that it's based, heck, even Regina King is in this film. And the way that they play her character up, it is done so dynamically. The thing I'll give credit for with Austin Butler in this film, as good as he is, when he needs to cry, he'll cry. When he needs to feel enraged or feel despair, you see it, you feel it. But this is the same man that was as insanely deranged as the character I described earlier in Dune. Like, he can play that range, but yet he can have all the charisma and the cadence of an amazing superstar. And yet he allowed himself to play the field. Like, he is the main character, but he's the side character too. And I love that vulnerability that he allows because it makes him feel real. It makes him feel like somebody that this is happening to, that not is happening with. And yet, as the narrative goes, like, there's also life lessons that are happening. There are certain triggers and traumas that he's having to overcome, and they excellently execute what that actually means, the ramifications of it, and also what does it take and what is it gained. And by the end of the film, I'm real surprised how it even ends. This is one of those Darren Aronofsky films that I would rewatch. And it threw me off because, like, I've seen all of his films. Like, I love The Fountain. Like, I love The Wrestler. No, I enjoyed. But those are not films that I would just instantly rewatch. I've maybe rewatched The Fountain, but the rest of them, they're just so emotionally pulverized, and there's so much that there's not like a real entertainment vice for me to be like, oh, I gotta re-see this film again. But this I want to rewatch Caught Stealing. I actually really enjoyed this film. I can't wait for you guys to go and check it out. Can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of Caught Stealing. If this is something that, just hearing my perspective on it makes you excited to go and check it out. I do think it's going to be worth your time. I give this no less than a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10 for me, easy. And I think that over time, it's going to be something that people are going to continue to talk about. And go and check it out, please. Go and check out Caught Stealing. All the kudos to Darren for giving us this gem. And we'll talk more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe to the bell button, and we have a lot more content coming. Peace, everybody. Have a good day.
Filing out the top of
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.